Hello, everyone. Okay. We're going to do some readings in a moment. Hello, everyone. Let's see people. People is always good. Give me a second here. Do like select. Perfect. How's everyone doing? Hello, Anita. Hello, Samantha. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, there we go. No. That's not what I wanted. Okay. Good comment. Yay. Hello, everyone. Okay, so I've got the shoot out. I apologize. And I have all of the links pinned. I think that I need to have pinned. And we are going to do some readings. Yay. Yay. Okay. So, how is everyone tonight? My hair's a crazy mess tonight. Oh, wow. So, yeah. So tonight we're going to do some readings, but before we do that, I'm going to introduce myself for anyone new watching who doesn't know who I am, and I'm going to explain how these readings work. Okay. So for anyone new watching who has no idea who I am, my name is Becky, and I am the co-owner of Mystical Essence. I do tarot readings, I do astrology readings, I do spiritual mentoring, and I do oracle card readings. And I have been reading tarot for about the past 5 years now. I started reading on myself as a tool for self-development, self-improvement, getting to know myself and understand myself better, and then that branched out into reading for friends and family, and then eventually for all of you guys. So, If you would like a reading tonight, there are a few different ways that you can get a reading. So we're going to go over those. Let me pull up these banners. So the first way is you can purchase one. So there is a link in the pinned comment below to a section over in my Etsy shop. All of those readings in that section are ones I do live like this. So you choose the one you want and I do it for you. They range between $5 and $20 depending on what you can afford. You can ask me any question over there, and purchasing a reading does guarantee a reading tonight. So that makes sure that you get one. And you can give me any specific question or topic that you want me to look into. There are 3 topics that I do not do, though. I don't do health. That does include pregnancy, so I guess essentially too. And I don't do legal questions either. Okay, but any other questions are free game. The other way that you can get a reading is you can comment your name. So I will be doing free readings for people I am pulled to. Okay, keyword being pulled to. And all you have to do for that is just comment your name. And if I feel drawn to you, I will pull a card or some cards for you and give you whatever message you need to hear. So the free readings are general readings. They are not specific. If you guys have specific questions, those are paid. If you receive a free reading and you want a longer reading or you want a reading into something else, please purchase the e-reading using the link in the pinned comments. Use your manners. Use your manners. Being disrespectful or rude will get you blocked. I have no issues, none whatsoever, using the block button. I love using it. I want to keep this a safe space for everybody. So if you can't be respectful, if you cannot be pleasant, I have no issues blocking people. Yeah, perfect. And also, last but not least, if you get a reply to your comment, an inbox or friend's request offering a reading, these are scams. Please block them. There have been a couple people that have imitated my page and created profiles, literally taken my profile picture and the whole 9 yards from this page and created fake profiles pretending to be me. These are not me. I do not inbox people for readings, and I do not friends request people. Okay. Also, people who message or comment to your comments, reply to your comments saying inbox me for reading. I feel drawn to you. Blah blah blah. They have a whole script. I mean, if you've gone through enough of them, you see it's pretty scripted. Those are scams too. So please block and delete them. I try to block them as I see them come on because it's inevitable. They always come on, but I can't get them all. So if you see them, please know they're scams and block them. Perfect, perfect. So, ooh, I am starring freeze. Okay, I have my teddy. I don't know why, but this bear wanted to come on live with me, so the bear's on live with me. So if you see like fuzzy ears, it's just the teddy bear. I picked it up and the energy was like, I must go live with you. So I went to go put it back down and got mad at him. So um, we're gonna work with the bear. Oh. So we have 2 decks coming out tonight. The first deck is called, we have the Thelma, I believe it's called the Thelma Tarot. And I really like this deck. The only thing is it's a bit glossy, so I'm hoping that you guys are able to see the pictures, okay? And the other deck we have coming out is the Green Witch Oracle. This is a new deck, fairly new deck. I think I've only used it a couple times, but we're going to see what comes out of that one as well, because, yeah, why not? And bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Yes, I gotta clear notifications. My phone's full of them. Okay, perfect. So, we're gonna do a message for the collective, I think. I'm gonna start off with that. Anita, that's awesome. That's so cool. I was like, the bear was like, I gotta come on with you. I did not know why, but when I went to go put the teddy bear down, it was like, no. I was gonna switch it up with another bear, and no, it had to be this one, so but that's pretty cool. That's awesome. Well, there you go. Right off the bat. You're very welcome. That's so cool. Okay, let's see what's coming up for the collective. And the Green Witch Oracle is really cool. I've only used it a couple times, though. It's a fairly new deck, but I have seen it used in other groups and by other people. So we'll see how it reads. And we have the Four of Wands. Cool. There's a dog that is not very happy in the hallway. Okay. I'm going to pull an Oracle card and see what comes up. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So we have the Queen of Wands coming up reversed for the collective. We have the Knight of Swords coming up with the Four of Wands. And then we have the Strength card, the Oracle card, which is Fennel. And that's a Virgo as well energy, which is very, very interesting. Because I keep hearing caution. Caution, caution. I think we need to stop playing it so safe. Um, we are just coming out of Virgo season or nearing the end of Virgo season. So right now, like a lot of people's attentions and the energies that play right now, there's a lot of Virgo energy, and Virgo energy can be very cautious and very safe and very reserved. Um, and sometimes we want to play things on the safe side, right? We want to reserve certain things and we don't want to take that step forward. But I feel like what's coming out for the collective is that we need to start moving forward with things and really fostering our creativity, and our passions and our desires. So the Queen of Wands coming out reversed for the collective. The Queens always talk to me about nurturing something, right? It's feminine energy. It's that kind of mothering kind of energy. And in a collective reading, it talks to me about nurturance. in terms of nurturing our passions and our desires and our motivations and especially our creativity. Okay. Um, I feel like the only way to really fire is a risky element to play with. And there's lots of fire. There's also the four wands that comes out in this too. So fire is a risky element to play with. It's not, everybody, that old saying, if you play with fire, you're going to get burned. I think that's what everybody's kind of worried about right now. They don't want to play with the fire. They don't want to nurture their own inner fire. They don't want to nurture their creativity, their motivation, their drives, their passions, because there's this reserved energy around them. And the cards are saying, like, now is the time to kind of cut loose any reservations you have to things. I'm also saying knives. There's a knife in the corner of there, although that's an athame. I know that. But, and then you have swords. So it's time to cut loose the reservations that you may have and just move forward with things. Don't be afraid to pursue your passions and to pursue what it is that really brings you to life and foster that and nurture it and allow it to grow. Okay. That makes sense. Hello, Tiffany. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. So Tiffany. Tiffany. Samhain is only 44 days away. That is very true. And Samhain is a fire festival. So, time to nurture our inner fire. Okay, Tiffany. Let's see. Pull an oracle card for you, Tiffany. Oh, there we go. Reversed. Interesting. Okay. So Tiffany, what we got coming up for you, we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. We have the Six of Pentacles upright. We have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. We have the Nine of Swords reversed on the bottom of the deck. And we also have Love reversed for the Oracle cards. And this This is Libra energy. Can you see the Libra sign right there? And it's tomatoes. In Interesting. Okay, so you were asking about the actions of your children's father towards you. Um, I really don't see there being anything that's worth doing. When it comes to his actions, I see a lot of face value of I want partnership, I want equal, I want give and take, but then underneath of it, there's no teamwork, there's no effort, there's no cultivation to make any of what he says manifest. It's all talk and no action. That's really what I'm getting. All talk and no action. Um, I'm also getting on your end that you are putting in a lot of effort and you keep trying to build things when you need to let things go with him. Okay. The thing to keep in mind is relationships are 50-50 or 100-100, depending on how you look at that, right? Which means everyone needs to be giving equal. Now, equal may be different some days, but everybody needs to be putting something in. Each person in the relationship needs to be contributing something, right? The cards coming up with the Three of Pentacles reversed says this isn't a partnership. This isn't a team. This isn't a team. This is a one-sided thing. But the Ten of Pentacles is saying somebody doesn't want to let it end. So they keep holding on. They keep giving and giving and giving, and I feel like this is you. You keep giving, you keep holding things together, even though it's not meant to be held together anymore. Don't be afraid to let this go. Okay? There's also the Six of Swords under that Ten of Swords. Or Nine of Swords, sorry. Don't be afraid to let this go and move on to something better, because I feel like this person has a whole lot of talk and they'll say like they'll put off a friend or I'm getting the energy of it'll change for a little bit and then it goes back to normal, and then it'll change for a bit and then it goes back to normal. They really have no intentions of making any long-term changes or commitments to make this relationship work, or to make anything work, whether it's a co-partnership in parenting, whether it's a relationship together, whatever the connection between the two of you is, they have no intentions of making it work. And the Love card reversed makes me think it's a relationship, and they're saying that it's just not there. The other thing is value yourself. Okay, by putting up with and tolerating less than what you deserve, you tell people that that is what you are worth. So know your own worth and hold up to it. Because people will do what you allow them to do. That's what I'm getting told to tell you. People will do what you allow them to do. If you want them to do something different, do not allow them to continue to do the same thing. Does that make sense? So it just seems like you're better off. Now I understand you had children with them, so the cutting ties obviously completely might not be an option. But moving on from whatever you were trying to build with them might be, seems like a good idea. And don't let the anxiety and the fears and the worry of things, whatever Nine of Swords energy that lies underneath that, don't let it get to you, okay? I do feel like you put in an effort in this and you've tried, but it just is not in the cards, in the cards, so to speak, to work. And sometimes things end. they run their course, right? And that's not always a bad thing. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. But the fact that the love card is Libra and Libra has to do with partnerships. It's a sign that has to do with partnerships, especially committed partnerships, tells me that the commitment isn't there. The partnership isn't there. The desire to make it work, like I said, is just not there. You're very welcome. Thank you for letting me read for you. Oh, Anita, don't cry, Anita, because if you cry, then no, you can't cry. Don't cry. Okay. Perfect, perfect. Okay, guys. So if anybody is interested in paid readings, there is a link in the pinned comments. They are between $5 and $20, depending on what you can afford. So my readings, the link takes you over to when I can talk. My brain's going faster than my tongue can work today. So it's been going all day. This is what happens when you pull like an 8-hour shift in madness and then you come home and you try and do tarot readings. Anyways. I was working cash earlier today and it was like sheer madness in the store, so I think my brain's still in like quick reflex mode. But yeah, if you guys want, yeah, that's how you get a paid reading. If you want just a message for whatever comes through for you, comment your name and I will be starring people's names and pulling cards for people who I'm drawn to. My guides were very, very adamant about that one. Over on Etsy, you can also pay through PayPal. I've had a few people ask about that. There is an option to pay through PayPal there as well if you don't want to use credit cards or you don't have credit cards. Bum, 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 bum. Happy tears. They're still tears. Okay. Marky, I'm gonna pull some cards for you just to see what comes out. Oh. So I feel like there's a major concern around a child and their relationship, and that's where the interest seems to be, or where the cards are pointing me. So we had the Ten of Swords come out, which means this is at an end. There's obviously something in your life that has ended, but this has been a choice. The swords are always mental, meaning somebody somewhere, whether it's you or the other person, has made the choice to end this. And this has been a conscious choice. It was a decision, and it was a well thought out decision because tens have been thought over and thought over and thought over and thought over. Okay. This wasn't an easy decision, but it was a thought out, calculated, rationalized, conscious decision. The problem is that I'm seeing is still a relationship in this. Yeah. There's still a relationship in this, and there's a child involved. But here's the thing that they want you to know in terms of this situation is your children learn from you and your example. They want you to not worry so much about the other person in this, but to step up and be an example to your children. Okay. I feel like walking away was a good thing because the example that you were leading, giving your children, staying there, like I can even feel the frustration coming through this, was not very good. Okay. Stop worrying about that. Stop worrying about him. That decision's been made. They're saying it's time to move on. Stop dwelling on it. Okay. If you're worried about the child in this case, because Page of Wands usually, when I'm looking at the Page of Wands and it's coming to me as a person, it's a younger person and can often indicate children or somebody who is immature. So childlike mind, acts immature or is a child, literally. However, I feel like, and that seems to be the focal point because that's what they're drawing me to. They want you to know that they'll be okay, but they learn from your example. So the most important thing you can do is to set a good example. Show them, um, lead by example on how you want them to live their lives, right? So you don't want them to be treated in certain ways. Don't allow yourself to be treated in those ways, right? Because they learn from watching you. That I'm not sure. I am just relaying the message that came through the cards. If you have specific questions, I can answer. Those are paid readings. So, but that was the message they wanted me to get through. And you're still very focused on him. Even after giving you that reading and saying, stop focusing on him so much, you're still very focused on him. So I hope that changes and that you turn your focus to your child because I think that's where it needs to be. And that's where the cards are saying it needs to be. You're welcome. Oops. Samantha, are you still on? Chelsea, oh my goodness, it has been a while. Sounds good, my dear. It has been a very long time. Okay. Samantha, if you're still here, let me know. If not, then I will. Chipped my nail at work. I cracked it, and it's right like below the nail line, so I don't want to like tear it off because it's gonna hit nerves and it's gonna hurt. And I'm a big wimp that way. But I keep pulling at it. I don't even know how I broke it. I forgot I have water. So let's do another collective reading and we'll see what's coming up for everybody. At least whoever's watching. Wow. Oh, ouch. Okay. Let's see. I feel like these cards are brutal tonight. I love these cards, but they don't play, apparently. Let's see if I can get an oracle card. Couple. Perfect. Okay. So what we got coming up for the collective, we have the Hanged Man reversed. And in behind our lovely Hanged Man reversed is the King of Pentacles. We also have the Eight of Swords coming up and the Fool card reversed with the Two of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So for the collective, what I'm getting, we also have the Stimulation card coming up reversed, which is Aries energy, and then we have the Luck card coming up as well, which is Capricorn energy. Fun, fun. Okay, so what I'm getting is that we're moving in and shifting into new energies, and these new energies are very much more spiritual based energies. However, we are stuck in very physical energies. So with the Hanged Man reversed, it's being stuck in one reality. Okay, so when the Hanged Man is upside down, when this card is right side up, he's seeing things from a different perspective. But this also represents being able to see into spiritual realms, okay? Being able to see past the veil of things. The way that when this is upright, we're still very much in the physical reality. We're not seeing deeper than that, right? And that's what this King of Pentacles is saying as well. We are stuck right now in the collective. I feel like we're making a transition, and there is a transition happening, but there's still a lot of people stuck in the 3D reality around them, and there is so much more to this world than just that three-dimensional reality, okay? And that is something we have to break out of. We really have to learn to connect with the energies around us on deeper levels, okay? And to see that this world, there's more to this world than what meets the eye originally, okay? Because this keeps us blinded. This keeps us stuck. You see how she's surrounded by swords, blindfold over her eyes? You know, when we can only see the physical world around us, it keeps us very limited to this physical reality, right? When we can break out of that, we can expand, we can grow. But right now, there's not very many people who are willing to break past that. And that's kind of where we're at this transition. And the option, the decision is up to everybody, really. And I don't know why that's coming out, but I also feel like the stimulation is coming up. And when I say stimulation, I feel like there's a lot of mental energy, right? A lot of analytical, logical, like air-based energy. And then when I feel luck, it's more faded, right? It's more spiritual. It's more to do with the unseen and the unknown. So I feel like we sometimes have to go by faith. That, you know, sometimes going by the rational, the logical, even the scientific, what we can see, touch, feel, things with our five senses, you know, things that science can prove, all those things, they keep us limited in a lot of ways, right? And when we can go beyond that and we can tap into the spiritual, when we can tap into the things that are unseen, the things that most people think are crazy, that's when we grow, that's when we expand. But we have to be willing to take that leap. And right now, some people are very kind of scared to take that leap because they're worried about being seen as crazy. However, you know, some of the greatest inventions, electricity would not be here if Benjamin Franklin was not crazy enough to go out with, I think it was Franklin anyways, was not crazy enough to go out with a guy and get struck by lightning to prove that electricity existed, right? Look where what we would not have if he had not been that outside of the box thinker, right? A lot of the geniuses we've had that have brought the greatest inventions have been outside of the box thinkers, people who got outside of their reality of that time. Now we're being called to do the same because this reality traps us. This reality traps us. Makes sense? I also feel like we're moving into uncharted territory too with that Fool. It's like completely back to where humans have never been before on a level that humans have never been before. So we're breaking many, many, I want to say generational patterns as well in the collective. Awesome, Chelsea. Okay, let me grab your reading and I'll quit rambling, I swear. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so Chelsea, I'm going to give the disclaimer, but I'm pretty sure you know how this goes. When I do future readings, the future's flexible, it's changeable, it's flowing, it's ever creating. So what I read tonight could change. Could change. So it's not etched in stone. Huh. Okay. I'm just giving the disclaimer. I always give it when I do future readings because sometimes people are like, you said this was going to happen and it didn't happen. And I'm like, it's always changing. Did you have knowledge about your brother previously? I feel like this wasn't a chance meeting that you guys met. That this was planned. This wasn't necessarily fate per se, because the Wheel of Fortune's coming up, but it's reversed. And I keep getting this feeling that there was knowledge of each other's existence and that things were a little more planned out rather than, you just randomly meet each other one day and I know that sounds weird, but that's the energy that's coming through. It's not like a random by chance meeting that you guys met, that it was a little more planned out. In terms of the future, I think there's a lot of anxiety about the future that you need to let go of. I do see a lot of things changing and shifting. So the Ten of Swords is on the bottom of the deck. And the Ten of Swords talks about the end of cycles or the end of a cycle, and particularly things shifting and changing on a mental level. Yeah. So you guys agreed. Okay. So there wasn't like an agreement. It wasn't just like a, um, you know, okay. So the you knew about him. That's why the plan is coming through because you had knowledge of him. Even if he didn't, if it was the other way around and you didn't have knowledge and he just showed up at your door, I think that Wheel of Fortune would be reversed, would be upright, right? Because it would have been like a shock factor or a chance or luck that, they just you randomly met. But I think because you've had knowledge of him for so long that, this was kind of a premeditated, even if it was an unconscious thing. But I do see a lot of things changing in terms of the way you think and the way that you see things and perspectives. Okay, I see old things coming to an end, new things are starting, but I feel like a when I can talk, perspective change. I do feel a lot of frustration is going to be coming into this. You guys may have trouble communicating at first because I'm having trouble like even getting words out. And there's a lot of frustration behind, well, not a lot of frustration, but slight frustration behind it because it's like, oh my God, I can't communicate what I'm trying to say. So just keep that in mind. I do feel like that might cause a bit of a issue of connection. I feel like it's going to take a bit for you guys to connect. The Justice card is coming up reversed. And that has to do with Libra, which has to do with relationship energies, but this can be family energies, family relationships. A lot of people connect Libra to romantic relationships, which I don't know why they do that because Libra to me is any type of love relationship, and you love your family members obviously in a different type of love, but you still love them, right? Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus is a planet of love. It's loving relationships, partnerships, that kind of thing. I do feel like there's going to be a struggle with this. I just feel some frustration, but just be patient, okay? I feel like there's some misunderstandings, or there could be some misunderstandings of things coming up. The moon card is coming up reversed. Things will become clearer as things go on. There could be some like confusion around things, some misunderstandings, some things that don't seem 100% clear at first, but they will clear up over time. Things will become more clear over time, and things will seem a little more stable, I feel like, later on. But at first, it's going to be rocky. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be hard to nurture this relationship. It's going to seem like it's not like, what the fuck did I get into kind of thing. But keep it going because I think it's going to be a good thing. Especially with that or that King of Pentacles card coming through, I do feel like it's going to stabilize out. Okay. I do feel like it's going to stabilize out. But there's so many reverse cards here that I feel like it's going to be very unstable to begin with. Unbalanced kind of here and then there and then here and then there. Yeah. Um, green is a color that you're going to want to keep grounded. Like I said, try to stay patient. Things will slowly stabilize. So we have the luck card coming up, but I'm not being called to luck in specific. I'm being called to more of the Capricorn energy as well as the color green. So green has to do with the heart chakra being open, and that also has to do with compassion and understanding and holding space for people. Okay, so I feel like it is going to be important that you hold space for him and he holds space for you, and you guys try to understand where the other is coming from and that you guys have history, right? You've lived totally separate lives. You may even be complete strangers, still trying to get to know each other. And it's really important to hold space for that because there are going to be things about each other that you don't understand. Okay. And to take it slow. So Capricorn moves pretty slow. It's an earth sign, but it is also probably one of the most stable signs that there is. And on terms of that, it also moves upwards, right? Whether you look at it from the terms of Capricorn's a sea goat that comes from the depths of the oceans up onto land, or whether it's a mountain goat that starts at the base of the mountain and gets to the top. No matter what, it's still an upward movement. It's an upward movement, right? You guys are moving ahead and moving up, but it's going to take time. It's going to take patience. And you're definitely going to have a lot of compassion for each other and hold that heart space, okay? Because I feel like it's going to be easy at first, but it will level out over time. Make sense? You're both Sagittariuses? Oh, that's interesting. Nice. That's awesome. Well, I think it's going to be a bit of a rough go, but I think if you stick with it, it will stabilize out. It's just a matter of sticking with it. Sagittariuses are typically pretty compassionate people for the most part. Um, so I don't see like holding heart space being an issue for either of you, but kind of guess depends on where your Venus and Moon and stuff are too, though. That's got more to do with compassion and understanding than your sun sign. So if you guys have specific questions, there's a link in the pinned comment to purchase a reading. They are between four. They're between $5 to $20 depending on what you can afford. So there's different options. When you click on the link, it'll take you to a section in my Etsy that has different options. You can choose the option that works best for you. Other than that, if you comment your name, I will be doing just general messages of whatever comes through the cards for people I'm pulled to. They will continue. I definitely see them continuing, but like I said, there's challenges, but challenges can be worked through as long as you you try your best to understand. And that sometimes is the hard part, is holding that space. Okay. Now it's gone quiet. So for anyone looking for a reading, if you guys have a specific question or a specific topic you want me to look into, they are paid readings. The link to make a payment is in the pinned comment at the bottom of the screen. I think it's at the bottom on YouTube too. Or the top. I can't remember where the pinned comment is on YouTube, but I know it's at the bottom on Facebook. I am doing free readings for people I am drawn to, but they are just general readings. So they will be whatever message comes through the cards. All you have to do for that is comment your name. If you do not comment your name, I'm not going to read for you. And wait, I'm going to see what messages for you. Give me a moment. The Queen of Swords reversed. To stop letting other people's thoughts and opinions affect you. The only opinion that matters and the only thoughts that are important are your own. Okay? Other people's shit, other people's, for lack of better terms, I'm going to say shit. Pardon my language. But you know, there's a lot of, everybody's got their own opinions, everybody's got their own thoughts, everybody's got their own ideas. The only ones that are important is your own. If you are happy with your life and how you are living it, then screw what everybody else thinks. That's what they're telling me to tell you, and that's coming through very, very clear. You're welcome. I put to sleep. Okay. I want to see if there's anything to talk about to kill some dead air here. So I'm going to look into the astrology once again, and I don't think there's anything. We have retrograde at the moment. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 planets retrograde. One, two, three, four, 5, 6 planets retrograde. Okay. So a lot of people too have been saying that they don't like this energy. Lately there's been a lot of tough energy going around, and I've heard that from quite a few people. But so let's talk some retrogrades for a minute. So in astrology, retrogrades are when a planet appears to be moving backwards in the sky. And pretty much what that means is the energies of that planet, or what that planet represents, the energies that that planet represents, turn inward. So it makes us take a look at ourselves and review different things within our lives. So right now we have Mercury retrograde, which makes us review our thoughts. Mercury is the planet of communication, makes us go over how we think, how we communicate with people, specifically with other people, because it is in Libra, which has to do with partnerships. We have Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is the planet of transformations and changes and death and rebirth. And so when Pluto goes retrograde, it is also the planet of empowerment. It talks about taking our power back, pulling our power back. So a lot of people, I've had a lot of readings come through that have talked about needing to pull back in power and re-empower ourselves. Okay, and that is because Pluto is retrograde at the moment and will be retrograde until the 8th of October. So we are really being called to look at where we are disempowering ourselves and to change that to re-empower ourselves and to pull back and draw back our own power. Okay. And to also look at what areas in our lives maybe we have been avoiding transformation in, and really working on transforming things. Saturn is retrograde as well, which has to do with the limitations, lessons, hard lessons, particularly, and work. So it makes us look at where we maybe have been slacking in work and need to be putting in more work in our lives. So Saturn retrograde is a lot like, you know, payday. That's only, sorry, that's a really bad, I feel like that's a really bad example, but it's payday, right? You go and you work your ass off and you get a nice reward on payday. You make lots of money. You have lots to show off for it, right? You don't go work your ass off. You don't have anything to show off for it because nothing gets handed to you. That's Saturn retrograde, right? Saturn retrograde makes you look at where you maybe need to be working harder in your life, where you need to be putting more boundaries and more limits up because you're not putting enough up. Okay? It makes you review those things. Jupiter is in retrograde as well, which has to do with expansion. So where we need to expand, where we need to grow. On the other side of that as well, it can make us see where we have what we have too much of in our lives. Can show us where we're being greedy, that kind of thing as well. Neptune is also retrograde, which makes us look at where we are escaping. So Neptune has to do with dreams And dreams are what? Our escape from reality a lot of times, right? But it's also our spirituality. So it makes us look at, reevaluate our own spirituality and our own connection to spirit, and also reevaluate where maybe things that we want to escape out of in our lives, or things that we want to get out of. It also makes us reevaluate our dreams. And not dreams as in like physical dreams that we have every night, but the dreams as in what do you aspire to be, right? You know, when you were a kid and you had dreams of becoming something, right? That's kind of Pisces energy as well. And then we have Uranus, or sorry, Neptune energy. That's Neptune energy. I'm saying Pisces because it's retrograde in Pisces, which is interesting because Neptune actually rules Pisces. And then we have Uranus, which is also retrograde, which has to do with rebellion and freedom and individuality. So it has us kind of reassessing where we need to be more of ourselves, where we need to be more unique, where we need to, for lack of better terms, fly our freak flags a little bit more, right? Where we need to be fighting for freedom, not only within our own personal lives, but within the world as well. So there's like 6 planets retrograde at the moment. And we only have 10 planets in our solar system. So that's like 60% of the planets are retrograde. That's a lot. It's a lot of inner work. A lot of looking at ourselves, a lot of re-evaluating things, a lot of going over things in our lives and reassessing things. So that once these planets go back direct, we can start moving forward again as well. And most of these planets will be going back direct in October. So Mercury goes direct October 2nd. Pluto goes back direct October 8th. Saturn goes back direct October 23rd. So that just leaves Jupiter, Neptune, and Uranus retrograde. And then Mars joins the party on October 30th. I don't want to play that one. Nope. I do not like Mars retrogrades. Okay. I feel like I'm just rambling now. So, I think I'm going to log off for the night, guys, but I hope you all have an amazing, amazing week. I'll probably be back on, hold on, I will tell you when I'll be back on in a minute. I'm gonna pull up my schedule. Probably not then. I will probably be back on Friday. Because that is, or Thursday night. Thursday nights. I would say Tuesday, but well, it might be on Tuesday night too. So we'll say Tuesday night possibly. And we'll see what happens. So I don't have to work till 1 on Wednesday, so that works. Yeah. So I'll see you guys all on probably Tuesday night. If not Tuesday night, for sure Friday night. So I hope you guys all have an awesome week, and thank you so much for joining me. If you have not already, Please follow my page if you're watching on YouTube. On Facebook, follow my page if you're watching on Facebook, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Oh my goodness. When I can get this right, it'll be amazing. So, have a good night, everyone, and I hope you all have an amazing week, and I'll see you when I'm live next. Bye, guys.